very warm welcome from myself and the broadcasting crew to you, our viewers. We thank you for joining us on our August 25th, 2025 English news broadcast. I'm Heavenly Hans, your news anchor for this session. To begin with, I present you the major headlines. Students' summer walk program in Haili and Maimene subzones. Efforts to control prevalence of non-communicable diseases in the Anseba region. On our international report, Russia accuses the West and Ukraine of blocking peace talks. And President Putin to spend 4 days in China next week. In today's domestic report, coordinators of the students' summer walk program in the subzones of Haili and Maimene reported that commendable water and soil conservation activities have been carried out. The program was participated by about 800 students, along with coordinators and agricultural experts. In Haili subzone, where 488 students took part, over 65,000 meters of terraces and 7,492 cubic meters of water catchment schemes have been constructed and 5,000 tree seedlings have been planted. Mr. Angasom Mehret, one of the coordinators, noted that beyond contributing to environmental rehabilitation, the summer walk program plays a significant role in helping students build social bonds and develop work ethics. Similarly, in Maimene subzone, 297 students participated in the program and constructed over 25,000 meters of terraces, more than 1,000 cubic meters of water diversion schemes, and planted tree seedlings. Highlighting that the activities were carried out with the collaboration of students, the public and members of the defense forces, Mr. Yared Georgis, head of the education office in the subzone, called for strengthened participation of all sectors to ensure greater success. Moving on to Anseba region, efforts to control the prevalence of non-communicable diseases, including the increasing prevalence of diabetes and hypertension, is being carried out in Anseba region. Mr. Mikhail Takhlai, head of non-communicable diseases control at the Ministry of Health branch in the region, said that with proper follow-up, the diseases that cause disabilities and deaths can be put under control. Noting that main causes of the diseases are associated with smoking, alcohol, environmental pollution and others, Mr. Mikhail said that these diseases have serious impact on the economic and social condition of individuals, the society and the country as a whole. He also called for behavioral change and frequenting exercises with a view to stay healthy, as well as frequenting visits to health facilities to know one's health condition. In related news, popular campaign in collaboration with the public and government employees has been conducted in Adduhala subzone to control the prevalence of malaria. The popular campaign included clearing dump areas and wastes that are susceptible for breeding malaria mosquitoes. This wraps up our domestic news for this session. Dear viewers, do stay tuned, for we shall be back with the international ones after the short break. And now, shifting our focus to the global stage, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov accused Western nations and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky of obstructing peace talks on Ukraine in an interview released yesterday. Speaking to a state media, Foreign Minister Lavrov said Western countries are just looking for an excuse to prevent negotiations. He added that Zelensky is, to quote-unquote, acting stubborn and demanding an immediate meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Minister Lavrov said European countries were trying to undermine the progress made by President Putin and President Donald Trump. It is to be recalled that US President Donald Trump met with Russia's Vladimir Putin in Alaska on August 15 for talks, although no deal was reached. The US President also met with Zelensky and European leaders the following Monday in Washington. In another news, Russian President Vladimir Putin will embark a 4-day trip to China next week for talks with President Xi Jinping, Russian media reported yesterday. President Putin is also reportedly expected to attend a summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization during the trip, which will include large-scale talks between broader delegations. The visit is set to become the Russian leader's longest foreign trip since 2014. The outlet did not specify the exact dates of the visit, but the 2-day SCO summit is scheduled to begin on August 31st. Political, diplomatic, military and trade relations between China and Russia are reported to have escalated. And now to the crisis in Gaza. Iran and Egypt have stressed the need for continued consultations at regional and multilateral levels to prevent the escalation of crisis and preserve stability in the region. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and his Egyptian counterpart Badr al-Balti met on Sunday before the beginning of an extraordinary meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Council of Foreign Ministers in Saudi Arabia's city of Jeddah. The two ministers exchanged views about the latest regional and international developments, particularly the critical humanitarian situation in Gaza caused by the continued blockade against the Strip and the Israeli regime's plans to intensify its attacks and completely occupy Gaza. They urged countries in the region to take immediate and effective action to stop Israel's genocide against the Palestinian people and accelerate the entry of humanitarian aid to the besieged Strip. The Jeddah meeting comes amid Israel's planned occupation of Gaza, its crimes of genocide and starvation, and the unprecedented humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Israel launched a US-backed genocidal war on Gaza on October 7, 2023. The regime's genocidal war has so far killed at least 62,622 Palestinians, mostly women and children. Meanwhile, the United Nations has officially declared of an extreme hunger crisis in Gaza. It has reported that over 200 people have now died due to starvation. In today's final report, Vietnam has ordered more than 500,000 people to be evacuated ahead of the arrival of Typhoon Kajiki. The storm is already packing winds with a speed of 166 kilometers per hour and is expected to strengthen further before making landfall, weather forecasters said. Vietnam Airlines cancelled at least 22 flights to and from central cities on August 24 and 25, and boats have been told to stay ashore. BBC Weather says Typhoon Kajiki is expected to weaken as it moves inland into Vietnam, but still lash the country with expected rainfall of 300 to 400 millimeters. Storm surges of 2 to 4 meters are also expected. Authorities have told people in the projected path not to go outdoors. Over 100,000 soldiers have also been deployed to help, they said. Officials fear the storm could be as devastating as Yagi in September last year, a deadly typhoon which killed hundreds of people across the region, including 300 in Vietnam alone. This wraps up our news for this session, dear viewers, and now let's take a look at the major headlines once again. Students' summer work program in highly and minor subzones. Efforts to control prevalence of non-communicable diseases in the Anseba region. Russia accuses the West and Ukraine of blocking peace talks. And President Putin to spend 4 days in China next week. This was The World on Monday with ERi-TV English News Broadcast. Dear viewers, we shall be back tomorrow for more. Do stay tuned. Until then, stay well.